And I'm joined in studio by two gentlemen. First one at the far end of the desk is Mr. Richard O'Connor. He's the CEO of Gazoo Incorporated. Richard, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
And next to me is Mr. Ken Owen. He's a subsidiary CEO of a company called Hydrogen Hybrid Corporation. HYDB is the stock symbol. Ken, always good to see you.
Glad to be here, Don, as usual.
Ken, it's been a couple, 3 weeks since we last spoke to you. The company is involved in a myriad of different things, everything green. Why don't you give us a general overview again?
Well, Hydrogen Hybrid Corporation basically specializes in, first of all, the hydrogen space, increasing fuel efficiency for vehicles by making hydrogen on demand in the vehicle, which in most cases gives it a fuel efficiency increase from 30 to 50 and sometimes 100%, and cutting emissions. And we use a variety of products from our hydrogen and ethos product to do that.
Well, I thought it was really fascinating. A couple of months ago, we actually had a demonstration here in the studio. You brought in this large F-250 Ford truck diesel. You had the, it's a retrofit product, I should mention. It can be retrofitted to any vehicle. And you actually showed us how it actually makes the hydrogen on board the vehicle as the vehicle is operating.
What's amazing about what we've created here is Mother Nature's best gift, water. By pouring it into what we call a bubbler, and through the process, through the stainless steel and an additive, we end up with hydrogen. So couple that with the electronics, and at the end of the day, we're able to increase the mileage and give you the efficiency in from small vehicles all the way to buses, motorhomes, you name it.
Well, yeah, that's what I found really fascinating, because of course if you're driving a four-cylinder little buzzer car, you're not really all that concerned about increasing fuel efficiency. You're probably getting 35, 40 miles per gallon anyway. But if you're driving a motorhome or one of these big F-250s or a diesel truck where you're getting 8 gallons to the mile,
there's a demand.
There's a demand. How has the company moved itself into that arena?
Well, after the studies and everything we found out in the marketplace, especially since the price of gas came down, everybody kind of on the lower end disappeared for us. It was buying for a Toyota, something in that area. So it's really been strong for the diesel pickups, SUV, and the motorhome space is really picking up with the truck industry. We've been in, before I mentioned Diesel Power Magazine, getting a lot of articles written about us. We've got a Video Army putting information out there about us. Now that's starting to come back. It's really focused us really to go after that truck industry, starting with diesel pickups and going on up from that. Actually, we had somebody the other day from the generator systems in Texas that do the offshore drilling. They got emission issues. They need a solution, and we've got a solution for them.
Well, it's interesting because what's going on in our lawmakers' offices, they're coming up ways to tax us for emissions. They're coming up ways to tax us for vehicle mileage use because we're not buying as much gasoline and diesel as we used to be. So these kinds of things are very attractive to those individuals and those companies that use a lot of fuel.
Oh, everybody's attracted to this at this time. It's amazing the amount of calls that we're getting just about fuel efficiency. As I covered before, in a trucking business, saving 10% in fuel cost at $3 a gallon adds 46% to the net bottom line of that truck. Wow. And we're in the trucking industry, we're 30% to 50% savings in fuel.
That's amazing. Now, you mentioned here a couple, 3 weeks ago, and I still haven't stopped thinking about it because I thought it was just amazing. You're working on a windmill farm in the northern part of Los Angeles County, and you mentioned it was going to end up being the largest windmill farm, I think, did you say in the country or in California?
Well, in the county, 100%. Okay. And highly possible in the state of California at this time.
Tell us about this project, because this is amazing.
Well, the project, as I mentioned before, is 2,700 plus acres. It's at the northern end of the county of Los Angeles. And it's in the grid zone, so the grid is going through the middle of the property. So we're able to take this by entitlement, turn it into windmill property that will be broke down into pieces of probably as little as 10 acres to maybe 500 acres that anybody can purchase from us, energy companies, whoever it may be, and they can tie into the grid without any issue. That's one of the biggest problems, is tying to the grid. The windmill company that we've elected at this time is the first one, to our knowledge, that is actually building a smart windmill, which can deliver the energy to the grid when it's required.
Well, you mentioned to me on a program, and I want to make sure I get it right, that your windmill that you're looking to use here will generate electricity even with a wind of 1 mile per hour?
1 mile an hour.
That is amazing.
Yeah, and they say as little as 6 feet off the ground.
6 feet off the ground. Now, how many windmills do you envision being on this property? Because if anyone who lives in California, if you drive out towards Palm Springs, there's thousands of windmills. If you live up near Kern County, you drive towards Tehachapi, there's hundreds and hundreds of windmills. Do you expect something to look, a landscape to look something like that?
Really, after meeting with the city and the county on this, they want to keep it clean.
Sure.
And the look is really critical. That's why they were impressed with the style of this certain windmill. And they want to hide them more than anything else, have them low. So there's a possibility we could be in the range of 5,000 to 10,000 windmills out there.
Very interesting. Once again, Hydrogen Hybrid Corporation, stock symbols HYDB. Give our toll-free number a call from anywhere in the world, 888-259-4449 for free information in the mail.